Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here, and welcome to B-Ball Breakdown. I hope you guys enjoyed our mini documentary with Nick Young and Paul George. Certainly was very popular, and we'll have lots more of those in store all summer long. So don't fear the lockout, we'll have plenty of content for you. I wanted to share with you a really great interview I did with Laker coach Bill Bertka, who talked about a lot of different topics, and I'm going to give you a smattering of them here, particularly about offenses that we ran in the 40s and the 50s, and touching upon players of today that we all know well. So stay tuned, here it comes, and don't forget at B-Ball Breakdown, it's not a channel, it's a conversation. You in?
Of course, I was a college coach at Kent State University, but before there I was at Hancock College in Santa Maria, California from 1954 to 57, and I went to Kent State University in Ohio and coached in the Mid-American Conference, and then back out here to California, and that's when I started scouting for the Lakers in 1968 when Bill Bertka was the coach. When I grew up in Ohio, I used to go to the Akron YMCA, and that was one of the few gymnasiums of any size other than the armories. I had a chance to watch those early day pros that were playing in the National Industrial Basketball League. They were the best of their days. I was in high school 41 to 45, right when the war was going on. So my basketball days at the YMCA, I played on the YMCA teams for the Optimus Club, and I owe the Optimus Club a great deal in my life. But they're the ones that stimulated me to become a basketball player, and I played in the YMCA leagues, and then made the high school team, Akron Buchtel, and we won the city championship in 1945, and then I went into the service for World War II. But all the high school coaches in those days, which I experienced, were all drill-oriented, very, very disciplined practices. You know, practice started then, you did this, you did this, you did this, you did this, and it was very organized. That's the way the coaches were. I'll tell you, a big influence on coaching, whether it be baseball, basketball, or football, in the time that I was growing up, was Paul Brown. Paul Brown was a legendary high school coach at Massillon, and then later went on and became one of the great pro coaches for the Cleveland Browns. But Paul Brown, his style of coaching, his style of teaching the game, influenced several generations of coaches that have gone on. For example, Don Shula, who coached the Miami Dolphins, was a product of the Paul Brown era. But there are certain basic fundamentals of the hook shot that are extremely important. Making contact, and then the step, and then the elevation. You know, the step, the elevation, and letting the ball go at the peak, how you use your body, how you use your arm. Those are the keys, how you finish. See, what people don't realize about the hook shot, when you shoot the hook shot, you're actually moving yourself into offensive rebound position. If you shoot the hook shot and you're falling away, like so many post players today, I always say this: if a guy says, I want to play for you, and I'm a post player, and I say, show me your shot, and he shows me a fall away jump shot, forget it. You know, it may go in, it may not, but I'll never get many offensive rebounds if the guy misses. So I've always been an advocate of a post player who shoots the ball, then attacks the basket. Moses Malone, who wasn't really a very good shooter, but probably one of the best offensive rebounders in the history of the game. Some players used to kid him. Moses would just throw the ball up so he'd go back and get the offensive rebound. We ran a single post offense with a lot of five-man continuity, and very similar to the triangle. Very similar. Most offenses at that time were all continuity offenses, but we looked to run first. we looked to get the ball and push it, fill the lanes, and then have trailers. We were big on trailer plays. We didn't like to have to set up. When the trailers came through, we were into the offense. We'd like to swing the ball, go into the post. If there was no action there, splitting, you know, feed to post and then split. We had a rule. The ball goes into post, you don't stand. When the ball goes into post, you spot, you cut, or you run a split. Tex Winter coached the whole of the triangle, all the various options, as does Phil Jackson. You know, they don't coach any one single aspect of it. Pete Newell coached the reverse action aspect of the triangle offense. So you had all of those various ramifications where the triangle was the tap root of that style of play. The defense dictates what I'm going to do offensively. However you play defensively is what I'm going to do offensively. That's very difficult for. I've seen players that have come to the Lakers in the last 10 years that are excellent basketball players, but they really had difficulty playing that style because they were conditioned to play a certain way. And it's very difficult to break old habits. Magic would struggle in a triangle. He could play it. Magic could play any style of basketball. But Magic wanted to get the ball and push the ball and create with it. Whereas, he's going to create. You're going to pick me up. I'm going by you. You know what I mean? He didn't want to come down here and pass here, cut through here, get the ball back over here, and so forth. The way that Magic played the game, it would have been difficult for him to play in that style. That's just my personal opinion. Could he play that way? Yeah, he could probably play that way. Would he want to play that way? I don't think so.